name is Kong Wang. I'm from China. Yes, I grew up in a communist country. So when I was in my high school, I learned from the textbook. It said greed breeds capitalism, and the capitalism end in fire and democracy society. So the two careers, democracy in American says the sovereignty over the continent of Europe evolved from the ownership of land, of its power of arm, power of voice, to what is now sovereignty of the maid. So it's a democracy. So he expressed his desire to learn about the American democracy and the way do we understand where our democracy comes from. So today we are going to talk about it. So the history of the United States is a evolutionary history of policy system dominations model. So from the slavery system of the funding to capitalism of the Civil War until today, so the democracy began to dominate United States society. And now let's go back to the 18th century and brush up our history from the sketch. So although the democracy has always been the United States policy, and the Slav system ruled this country in early days of the nation. So to become the member of upper class at this time, so who had to accept the support of the Slav owner or a Slav owner himself. So there is a very interesting picture here. Yes, there were 12 Slav owners present from the 1789 to 1877, 8 of whom were still Slav owners during their term. So they thank you to earn honor this date from his number of Slav owner of United States present, and the number of Slav represented more or less political capital. So our national father, Washington, President Washington was died in 1799, and on the time he had 317 Slavs, and another great man, Jefferson, became the second largest slaveholder in his county in 1782, and the plantation industry under Slavs was backbone of antebellum American economy. So the slavery was raised by the by the Civil time. The Mississippi Valley was the home of the rich people, rich man. Yes, those people they had rich man than anywhere else in United States. So the canton grew up and picked up by those Slavs, and it's also the nation's most valuable export. And the Slav ownership was very similar to the land ownership, and in the again, a certain airport, he expected the Slavs on the land were just different carriers, but as soon this changed, capitalism raised the power from the slavery. And after the Civil War, the capitalists ruled the United States. The capitalists has changed the structure of the society of the United States. So after introducing the industrial evolution into the United States, the pillar industry was transformed from the plantation to industry. So in the North, the capitalist economy developed repeatedly. So 1860, the North ranked fourth in industrial production with a total output value of United States is 1.88 billion, and the North produced 17 times more cotton than South. United States no longer need a large number of Slavs, but 10 Slavs into works instead. So also same 1860, so 26% of northern population live in the urban area, leading by the remarkable growth of the cities such as Chicago, Detroit, with food processing machine too, and road loading equipment, and capitalism become a new political interventionist, and the mono the monopolies hold the same position in American life that the the slaveholder occupied in 1860. So they opposite with democracy. So from the late 17th century to early 20th centuries, so the American Steel and the American Tobacco Company maintained a singular control over the supply of their respective commodities. And in 1982, the AT&T was funded to the violation of U.S. antitrust law when acting as a slow supplier of telephone server to this country. So while the Republican and Democrats so hold the White House and the Congress, the rich man have ruled the country and determined its major policy in war or peace. So example, we have a Kennedy family, Bush family include the President Trump. Yeah, he's the richest president in history of America. Yeah, and we have a Vietnam War, Iraq War, Afghanistan War. Now we are in the war, trade war with China. So those all wars relate to the presidents we just talked about. So in today's America, so capital is no longer the symbol of domination. Under the domination spree, the democratic spree is greater, and its domination position in the society, American society. So when the people have enough to eat, to drink, and they pay more attention to the spiritual aspect. And 1960, the U.S. launched the Vietnam War, so which was upset by students, and same-sex marriage in the United States become legal nationwide in 2015. So today, America's democracy is growing and growing, and is beginning to be able to interfere in presidential election. So President Reagan, yeah, before he inching into policy, yeah, he also works as sport lifeguard and film actor. And our President Obama, yeah, he's the first African American president. So the leaders are not only due to support the capital, but also to democratic will and not people. And the sense of democracy is coming to dominate American society. So this is the evolution of American sovereignty uh, throughout American history. So from the slave owner system to capitalist, and then to today's democracy. So the democracy is defining another form of domination. It will control everything in our system, our society. Of course, the wheel of history will never stop turning, and the democracy will be replaced by more advanced form of policy or governance. So someday, and thank you very much.